Alrighty, welcome to another live session. This session will be discussing Traxxas slashes right now. So hopefully, whoever just checked in right now, that's totally awesome. You were one of the first people. That means you have the bell notification. The cool thing about this is that I'm just going to go into a quick discussion. Too Frosty, Too Side. Interesting name. What's going on? Um, so primarily, I'm just gonna wait for a few people to come in. RC eruptions. What's going on? And I'll just wait for more and more people to log on to this, and then I'll just go over with the slashes that I have available. I do have a rally 4x4, but Dark Knight, what's going on? I do have a rally 4x4, but I'm not going to put that into the slash discussion because I believe the slash 4x4 LCG is the same exact thing as the rally, so it's not going to be anything too crazy. Yeah, the slash 4x4 is awesome. So I'll wait. I'll wait for a few more people to come in, and we'll discuss each and every one of the slashes that I have right here. And Lewis, what's going on? And we'll just discuss primarily what I have installed over here and what's going to be coming up with RC Muscle. What's going on? Renzo Ross, what's up? Dante Edwards, what's going on? Thank you very much, my man. And we're going to come across and I'll go over into a few details of what I'm going to be upgrading and what's going to be transpiring with the slashes that I have here right now. So, and all the upgrades that I've done. And if you have any questions about upgrades that I've done with these slashes, I'll be able to come across and give you a heads up of what am I doing. Nils, what's going on? Cash Creation Sidewinder for the slash 4x4. What do you think? Well, the slash 4x4 that I have over here, I have the Mamba Monster 2 installed. Not right now because I took it on. Everything's going well, Nils. Nils? I think Nils. Hoe and water. But I ended up taking it out right now because I'm gonna come. Hillbilly, what's going on? Good morning. There's a group on Facebook called Traxxas Slash Family. Oh, really? I definitely got to check that out. So let's start off the discussion. And if you guys have questions, just I'm looking at the screen as I'm discussing about the Traxxas slashes, and I'll tell you what I got in here right now. Long Island RC for life. What's up? Building a speed slash right now as we speak. Oh, awesome. So let's talk about the slashes that I have right here. On the end, far end, as you can see, there's a gray slash. I have a very interesting video of me in actuality getting a slash like that from a guy in the Bronx, and it was all rusted out and stuff like that. Definitely check out the video because I ended up restoring it, putting bigger 2.8 trenchers on there and stainless steel screws. A lot of parts were destroyed on it, but I was able to bring that slash back to life, and that's the slash high center of gravity two-wheel drive. What do you think about the X-Maxx bearings? I'll talk about that on another video, but fast lane, full force, I believe it's full force. RC has something pretty cool. Where did you get your lid for the X-Maxx? Well, I got two lids now. Pro Graphics, which I painted it orange, and then now I just got the Pro line. So I ended up upgrading the slash two-wheel drive over there. So that's going to be a basher, but with bigger wheels. This, pardon me 1 second. Yo, what's up? All right, excellent. I'll pick you up then. Bye. Sorry about that. On live video, you get phone calls. So, just quick statement on the second one, and that's my slash two-wheel drive. Now, greetings from Switzerland. What's going on? Yeah, the random calls. Yeah, it was my daughter. The ringtone is kind of like an EDM, Mario EDM. So, the slash two-wheel drive, primarily what I was trying to do with the slash two-wheel drive LCG, I'm going to get the Pro line, but I want to reinforce the new one. Yeah, I mean, the paint job, once you're doing the new Pro line body, definitely do the paint job and try to reinforce it. That's going to be my show body, and the two other bodies that I'm utilizing, the blue and the orange one, are going to be my bash bodies. So, I'll come across and give you a heads up. I'm trying to make this into a race slash two-wheel drive to throw it on the track. I know the components in there are not something that you guys would recommend. Like, I have the Valenian system in there and everything like that, but I ended up going with the upgraded shocks from Proline as well. A lot of aluminum parts, but I do have to set this up more for a race edition, which is going to be in the near future. And I do have the onboard audio on this one, which I have a pretty cool video of me installing it before Traxxas released it for the VXL system, but definitely check that out. I'm taking the onboard audio off of this one, and I'm going to install it into the Traxxas X-Maxx. So that video should be coming out this week. It should be really, really cool, because what I'm doing is that I'm making it set up to where you're able to see something pretty cool in there. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Where did you get the cage style thing? I'm not too sure. The shroud that's on there is from Dusty Motors. RC Muscle writes, I have the Power Stroke shocks. They work great. I have never tried them, so I can't give a full analysis. I just installed it into it. I have the Slash 4x4 LCG from Lewis. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'll talk about that in a few minutes. The live stream is not working for me. Is it my internet? So bye. Love your videos. RC Monster Mash Studios. Sorry about that, dude. Try to log out and log back in. Maybe you'll be able to get in there. Hot Shots 1500. I'm here. Truth Bullets. The Traxxas X-Maxx reinforced new style. Are they selling? Wait, are they for sale anywhere? The X-Maxx reinforced? Not too sure. Patrick, that went quick. It's kind of weird when the messages do come through. If you're looking at the screen comes up with the messages right here underneath. When you're looking at it, it comes up on your screen in the white. Lucky698833. I have a normal slash 4x4. I got NTG caster block, steering blocks. Any idea how to install them? I try to stay away from the aluminum caster blocks because they do bend really, really fast. The new X-Maxx body. Oh, so the new X-Maxx body, all it does is it has a reinforced end, the plastic part. I ordered the back piece for my Traxxas X-Maxx, the two of them that I have right now, so I ended up installing it. Craig built a slash, and love it. RC Hobby CLE. I'm guessing maybe Cleveland. What's going on? I think I'm talking about that ugly frame for the Traxxas. I'm not too sure. I have a two-wheel drive Stampede. What upgrades? What should I upgrade with it? I would say fully RPM it out and throw better tires than the Talons that are on there right now. Make it a little bit more aggressive. Upgrade the shocks so it doesn't flip over as much. And I believe the two-wheel drive does come with the wheelie bar, so that's a cool thing to have there. But I would say on all the vehicles, RPM them out, immediately. So up and coming things I'm going to be doing with the slasher. So as I told you before, I'm going to the blue one that's over there. I'm going to upgrade for me to take that on the track. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, I'm not going to take the 4x4 on the track. Nah, I'm trying to make this into a track vehicle. Mind you, I have brand new bodies for all three of them. The gray one, I'm trying to remember the part number, but Traxxas came out with the body where you're able to mount the GoPro underneath. So I'm going to make that like a RC News, to where it films a whole bunch of RCs and follows it around. So that's going to be something new that I'm throwing on there. So probably I'll call it RC Ghost, to where it follows and sees all the interactions of people racing their RCs. Which tires are the best for the Rustler bashing? The Rustler bashing. I swear by the trenchers, but there's a whole bunch of other ones that are out there that's pretty cool. So RC Fest Studio Productions. Proline did, but the Traxxas didn't. It's called the Blockbuster. Oh, okay. Truth Bullet. Okay. What does Truth Bullet say? Okay, I don't know why they sold the back reinforced solo. I love my 4x4 slash LCG Badlands. I have Badlands on my E-Revo, and I think the Badlands on the E-Revo are phenomenal. I haven't had it for the other RCs. iPod Guy 55, Badlands, RC Hobby. Okay, I did RPM upgrades a few weeks ago. Love it. Threw some STRC aluminum caster blocks on it too. It does. I mean, the aluminum caster blocks are pretty cool because you get a lot better precision than you would have on an RPM part because it doesn't flex. But the thing is that once they bend, it's never really the same. Andrew says Proline. Ivan B. Hi, I was just wondering what's your opinion on what to turn a speed monster either slash two-wheel drive or 4x4. Love your video deals, complete upgrades. If you're doing speed runs, slash 4x4 all day, by far. I know guys that are breaking 130 out in Long Island, so definitely slash 4x4 because there's a lot of reinforcements that come with the slash 4x4. Also, I have a whole list of stuff on my either Google Plus or the Instagram thing. Oh, and there goes one of my charging things done. That is one. Ciao. Yo, what is this? Sanuk size 45. Yo, just to give you a heads up, I'm going to Italy in August. So give me a heads up of what RC places are out there. Send me an email because I'm bringing one of my RCs over there, and I'm going to be filming me in Italy with one of my RCs. I'm not too sure which one I'm going to bring. I'm probably going to bring one of my RCs are coming, regardless of whatever. So give me a heads up if there's any hobby shops in Italy because I'm hitting everywhere. I'm going to Turin. I'm hitting Rome. I'm hitting the Mavi Coast. I'm hitting all that. So that's going to be happening very, very soon. Okay, I always have Duratrack punch tires, trash slipping anywhere. I've never had Duratracks anything. Can't wait for the new Proline tires for X-Maxx. Truth Bullet, I'm going to be honest with you, I might get them before they're even released. I'm trying to negotiate something with Proline, so I'm going to see what's going on. Patrick, have you ever thought about getting the Slash Slayer 4x4 in my collection? I have never purchased a Nitro RC as of yet, and I kind of thought my first RC Nitro would have been the Jado, but you never know what happens in the future. Marcus Hampton, what's good? Set up for the Slash 4x4 LCG, doing some drag racing. Mama Monster 2 2200 kV motor. You're gonna have to reinforce the center drive shaft. Recommendation: Techno RC. Your diffs have to be reinforced. You have to have the stainless. You have to have your drive line has to be strengthened by far, and go in GRP tires or foam tires, which are pretty cool. BSRs, I believe. Okay, let me see. Lewis, I have the trenches and the beaded rims. Ride's pretty nice. I have never had beaded rims. I'm not too sure if the Proline was the ones you're talking about. Batteries are done. Yep, the batteries are done. Well, no, one of the batteries are done. I have the dual. Right now, I'm charging on the Easy Peak Dual one right now. Okay, RPM bumper is junk. Broke 2 and 3S. Which one? On the two-wheel drive or the 4x4? I haven't broken anything, and I had a 6S on this one. And if you ever watch a few of my older videos and videos that I on Everyday RC, I've beat the crap out of this, and I've never broken the rear bumper. I thought that was my charger beeping. True, that's funny. Okay. Yeah, hit me up with that Italy information because I'm headed everywhere. You know, Milan, Turin, Rome, the Mavi Coast and stuff like that. I'm gonna be out there for 2 weeks. Pain in the RC, haha. I went looking for my charger. Okay, RC Muscle 2. Okay, Ross, can everyone say what RC car they have? Well, I can't. For me to name off my RCs, I'll name it in a few. Any plans of coming to Switzerland? I'm trying to travel all over, so I believe it's Italy first, and then I'm going to hit the Isle of Man off the Irish coast between Ireland and Berlin. I'm going to do the Isle of Man, take my motorcycle. Well, I'll rent a motorcycle while I'm out there, and then probably one day is Switzerland. But I'm hearing you guys are having a lot of issues in Swiss. Okay, replays. I'm back. What's going on? I have an X-Maxx. Awesome. 8 or 6S. She muscle. Slash two-wheel drive, race, and bash all day. You know what? The LCG I like over the high center of gravity, but I haven't taken the high center of gravity with the big wheels trenches, so I'm gonna see what's going on. Do you recommend a slash 4x4? That's asked by AGU. I recommend the slash 4x4 all day. One of the best RCs out there, and you're able to come across and update whatever you want. Make it a basher, make it a racer, make it a drag racer, make it a high speed run. P4SP. I have a slash 4x4 set up for speed with the Mama Monster 2, but when it hits 50 miles an hour, 60 miles starts to shake really bad. Going like side to side. Any suggestions? Thicker, definitely thicker shock oil. My recommendation to that. Also, check your slip clutch. What's initially transpiring when you're hitting that type of speed. Also, open up the back vent so you don't get that air coming in. So cut like your Lexan in the back so you're able to see something. Andrew Textera. Yo, Gio, you should check out the 8S X-Maxx. Doing a little bit. I'm loving mine. Takes a beating. Haven't broken anything. Jumped over a car. Oh, I got to definitely. Send me a link on that. Let me see. RC Fest Studios retracted their statement. Louis Prague. They are pro lines. They are pro lines for the slash. Yeah, I got pro lines here. I got the bigger pro lines over there, and I got the bow ties on the race one. Will a belt hold to hard bashing? Possible. Painting the RC slash Ultimate Cast 2200 kV. X-Maxx powered up kit. Some old ones even touched anymore. I have. Come to the Netherlands. Send me a ticket. Okay. I get some badass. Okay. I get channels. Break some records. My slash thanks force. Patrick Pearson. You should try Denmark. This is waterproofing. You know, I've submerged. I believe the slash 4x4 I submerged underwater, and it still went, and I still haven't had any issues. How's it going? That's Deadman RC. What's going on? Rusty Stackleford. Hey, have you seen Bar Harbor Basher builds? They're incredible. I have not seen them. No, wait a minute. I have seen one as of recently. I'm sorry. Okay, it's 70 shocks, no body, speed runs. What do you think I should go with? Aluminum bell cranks? Aluminum bell cranks. Yeah, I would try that. I mean, I have RPM on this, and I haven't had any issues with the slash 4x4. Truth Bullet. I have Proline Power Stroke shocks on mine. I have Proline Power Strokes on my other ones. I have it on the Rally. I have it on the Slash. No, I have it on the Gravedigger, and I have it on Stampinky. Warhawk Legend 69. I like they just did with the improvements in the X-Maxx. Do you wish Traxxas would have made a revision to improve the other vehicles? Well, you know what? I'll hold on this subject. This in actuality is a Traxxas Platinum, and then they Traxxas Platinum Slash, and then they also have a Traxxas Ultimate. The only gripe I have is that I wish they came with the steel drive shafts. If it was the Traxxas Slash Ultimate, and also aluminum hubs for the wheels, that would have made it an Ultimate. And it does come with the sway bar, but it definitely needs the steel drive shafts and the aluminum to make sure that it is an Ultimate. That's my only gripe on that. I live in Nassau County, and where's the best place to run cars and trucks? That would be in Deer Park. Hit me up with an email. I'll give you the address. Okay, or should you put in testing the weight in the car if it helps? Yeah, you could put a little bit of weight in the front. It does help a little bit, but it does weigh the car down. Aluminum bell cranks are great. Okay. Zero Dark 3RT. What's up, Gio? Have you messed with your X-Maxx servo saver settings? Yeah, I had noticed mine was a little off steering. Okay. I changed out the gearing in the in my servo. Well, I changed out the gearing in my servo, so I do have aluminum gears in my servo. I am upgrading the servo saver, and all of that stuff is going to be aluminum very soon. Yep, the other battery is done finally. Thank you, Justin. Traxxas should come out with an X-Maxx drive shaft sleeve. I think a company should come out with a new center drive shaft. That's my opinion. Maybe Techno RC or something like that. To have it reinforced. Ultimate Traxxas aluminum caster. Yes, it does come with the aluminum caster blocks and hub carriers, but the aluminum for it to mount the wheel is not. So that's the bad part. Okay. Let me see. Road Dog 161. What's up? What's going on? Zero Dark. You're welcome. Darkman RC. I have a XL5 Rusty with the VXL system. What would you recommend? Gearing to hit 70 60. And you're from Australia. Well, you definitely have to change out the wheels since you are coming up from the XL5 to the VXL. I would say if you're just looking to break 60, throw the aluminum, throw the anacondas on there. Get aluminum, the hub, whatever they called, to mount the wheels on for the rear, and also maybe your camber links should be changed out so where they're adjustable, and lower the RC if you can, but you don't need to lower it because you should be able to break 60 with that setup. What's the best RC for under $400? Traxxas or another company? That's a better question. So, what is the highest jump you've ever made with your RC? The best jump I ever made with my RC was a quadruple flip with my Stampede 4x4. Highest jump, I was going to jump over a train with that one, but then one of my cop friends said, don't even bother because I'd be in major trouble if that happened. So, yeah, that would be the bad thing. Justin Woods, how are you liking the Easy Peak live charger? I love that. I love the Easy Peak live charger because it gives me the option of moving away from my batteries being charged to see what's going on. Just look at my phone. So some guys put their stuff away, and when you're charging, you're sitting back on your couch, you're waiting, and you're seeing what's initially transpiring on your phone. And everybody uses apps. Let me see. Oh, Traxxas. So, iPod Guy RC. I'm trying to remember what the question was. Under $400. Under $400 RC. A little bit above 100 would be a Stampede 4x4. A little bit above 400 would be a Stampede 4x4. That would be my recommendation. It's a monster truck that it's a beast. Joe Hood, what's up, Gio? Where did you get the wheelie bar? Where to get wheelie bar for /4x4? I have the RPM one, so that's the one I have. It's fully RPM'd out. Edward, would you recommend two-wheel drive Brussels Slash or Traxxas Rustler VXL? Oh man, it depends. I mean, I'm a Rustler fan by far. That was my first RC. If that was the first RC I chose before the slash two-wheel drive. That was my two options when I was going to buy. I was going to either buy the Rustler two-wheel drive, Stampede two-wheel drive, and slash two-wheel drive. I didn't get a slash till way later, so I'd probably go Rustler. Deadman RC. Cool, thanks. Enjoy your vids. Keep it up, man. Thank you very much, my man. Road Dog retracted his question. Okay, Split. What's up with Geos? What's going on, man? How's everything? Is that like a Yoshi? Is that a Yoshi? That'd be funny if it was a Yoshi. I'm a huge Yoshi fan. Huge Yoshi fan. Andrew, how do you feel about the low-seat Truggy Nitro? You'd have to ask somebody that would know about the Truggy Nitro. I've seen it. I think it's pretty cool. I think low-seat does excellent work, but I have never owned it. Have you ever had aluminum diff case for the 4x4? I used to melt. Okay. Okay. I have the aluminum diff case in this one right now, and it's definitely worth it. And you definitely have to change out your gears to metal if you're doing, just Robinson racing. I mean, you're lock solid when you're in there. I have the V2 X-Maxx, which should be my first upgrade, leaning toward. Well, if you have the version 2 X-Maxx, don't even upgrade the ESC yet. Just beast around with what you have there right now. But the first upgrade I would say is Dusty Motor Shroud, because that whole compartment picks up a lot of dirt and everything like that. The shroud will protect all the rocks and everything that land in there and that weigh down the RC. What steering shoulders do I have in the slashes apart? Um, this one has a waterproof Savox servo, and these two have the 2075 Traxxas ESCs. I think 2075. Yeah, I think they should. I think they should. This could probably have a Savox servo updated. I'm not too sure. What do you think about Armor? I did a whole video on Armor. I think it's a really good company. I think they have a little bit more of R&D to do, but I think it's a really, really good company. Okay, whoever asked a question about the best at 400 brushless E-Revo on sale right now, $599. Spent some extra money. Yeah, well, that's another that's another $200. Okay. All right. All right. So a little bit of things about me. Um, Me and my brother have played Mario Kart. I own every Mario Kart video game out there that's ever been made. I mean, I can go as far back. If I'm looking at my wall right here, I mean, I have the original Mario Kart. Here's another box. Here's another. This is the N64. I have the original Super NES. I got. Bum 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 bum. Here's some more Mario Kart games. This is the 7. This is another DS. Let me see. This is Mario Kart 8, which is over here. Mario Kart for Wii. That's that. I got the Double Dash, which is over here, and I think that's it for now. Well, I'm a huge Mario Kart fan. Oh, and by the way, so that being said, I have a huge Yoshi collection. So yeah, like a pretty big Yoshi collection. So I love Yoshi. So I mistracked on a lot of the questions that were being handled down. Okay, you're a bad influence. Love it. Keep up the videos. Thanks for all your help. You know what? Here's the thing about having this hobby. Um, the problem of having this type of hobby is it's very addicting. I mean, you're able to get components for your RCs at an inexpensive price, but each component adds up. And then once you upgrade a whole car, you have enough parts to build another car. And then it just gets a little bit too out there and stuff like that. Like over here, I mean, I'll open this one up. Over here I have a lot of components. A lot of the electronics are out of it right now. So I mean, I have red RPM parts that you guys can't get anywhere on the top part. And I mean, you're able to get into the arms, but you can't get it on the top. And then here's my Dusty Motor Shroud. I got the Techno RC drive shaft over there. Lights, all RPM in the back, But this is aluminum sway bar kits. I have aluminum drive shaft, steel drive shafts. I have a whole bunch of stuff in this RC itself. So I made this more of a basher, but it does have a Mama Monster system. Back in the days, RC cars cost way more than the ones we have today. Yeah, because primarily it was more big time scenarios. People were upgrading their RCs like crazy. So Yeah, the Wii U was a big time, not a big time fail, but it could have been a lot better, you know. But with the Switch, it's totally changing the whole game. And if you guys look over there, I got the Switch. Still haven't opened it. Any more questions? Let me see if I missed anything. Hold on. Okay, subject. Okay, was your first RC the Rusty? You ever had one as a kid? Well, I'll give you a quick Dead Man RC. I'll give you a quick story about the Rusty and how I got into the RC game. So I ride motorcycles. I'm a huge motorcycle fan. I have a Yamaha R1, and primarily what happened was is winter season comes in, and all of a sudden my friend across the street, my boy Tony, he starts driving a slash 4x4 across the street, and I look outside my window and I'm looking at him, and I look at him. I'm like, yo, what are you playing with? He was like, he looks at me. He was like, don't worry about it. I'm like, I put on my jacket to go outside. Now it's cold out. I'm like, yo, can I play? He goes, no, get your own. I'm like, all right, ass, I'm gonna get my own. So that was the first. I ended up looking at the specs on the slash 4x4, and it said 65 miles per hour off the box. And then I saw the Rusty, and it said 70. So I said, you know what? Let me go with the Rusty because it is faster. And then I started getting into the 100 mile per hour Rustler. So that's how I initially started, which was probably 6 years ago as of right now. So I can blame him for getting me into the RC. Slash Raptor running. Okay, loud squealing noise. Makes a loud squealing noise with the body. Maybe it's the air coming into the front intakes. I'm not too sure. Get a set of 4S5s. The good to go company calls. Yeah, they for some reason on my last live feed they said SMC batteries were out. Out of business. I'm not too sure. Okay. You got the Switch. Does it look good? Have you played Zelda yet? I have Zelda right there, right on top. If you look right here, and I have not even opened it yet. I just been so busy with work and stuff like that. So I know I'm gonna be busy this whole week. So I have to figure out what's initially gonna transpire. I want to build a trailer for X-Maxx. Nobody has a trailer on eBay. You should be able to build a trailer. I mean, it doesn't take too much, but you're gonna spend the money on the wheels once you do have the trailer. I want to do that for the X-Maxx to pull in my M41 catamaran from Traxxas, and I have not done it. From the motor squealing, you could have a little bit rust or the way your gear mesh is meshing up. See if it should feel when you mesh up your gear. I mean, people do the tooth, the paper scenario, but I usually utilize it like a loose tooth. If it gives me just a loose tooth type of scenario. I'm going to build a snowplow for the X-Maxx. Wyatt RC, I think Integy got you beat on that. They have a plow for that thing right now. I'm not too sure what they're charging for that, but and I'm not too sure if you're able to utilize a servo for that plow. But that'd be a cool thing for you to have. All right, cool. Are you gonna make a trailer for the X-Maxx? I will not. The next update I'm doing for the X-Maxx will be the body and the sound system, the onboard audio. So it's a big vehicle, so it should sound like as big as it is. It's not a nitro, but people get a kick out of having the audio on there. Oh, yours is gonna look cooler, all right? Can you drive your cars right now, Ford Stoner? I'm in my living room. Oh, you're a builder. All right, cool. What's the most? What is the most durable RC of all times? Any brands most durable? Slash 4x4 takes a beating. Like a beating. I beat the crap out of this thing, and the E Revo and the X Max, I haven't had the same luck. The E Revo and the E-Max, I haven't had the same luck, but the Slash 4x4, I've had nothing but luck. That and the Stampede 4x4, those are the two RCs I've had a lot of luck with as of late. Oh, thank you. Thank you for enjoying the channel. Best motor for ESC combo brushless under $110. It depends. I mean, I don't know. You got to tell me what type of vehicle it's going to be. 110 scale, 1/8 scale. Um, there's a lot of like a hobby wing makes something pretty cool. You got to look at what type of vehicle you're going to be throwing it into. Okay, would you be interested in doing a giveaway with all the X-Maxx SS parts? Most parts are new. Still in the package. I can send you a pic of all and ship to you. Doing a giveaway with all the X-Maxx 8S parts I have. Jack White. Yeah, see why not. I mean, I have so many parts. One day I'm gonna do a video of my parts back. I should do a video about my tire section, because I have a whole corner, like a whole mountain, like a mountain of tires, of everything and stuff like that. But I probably do something like that. Hit me up on my Yahoo account. Okay, X-Maxx. Okay, fine. Beat the crap out of instead of breaking anything. Hard bashing. My horse is set up for twos. How much? How much weight? 100. Okay. The weight 1.5 ounces. For the front. Hit it 71. Okay. And if you're doing 3S, I would say 1 pound of weight put on there. I just jumped my X-Maxx 60 feet, and I have proof. I bought my tape to measure. Can send me a link to the video. I'd like to see that. What is 110 scale? Sidewinder. 110 scale Sidewinder is pretty cool. If you're gonna do something under 100 bucks, I believe the Sidewinder 3 has a combo package for that. Ever bought? Ever thought about getting into 1/8 scale buggy? Yes, I have thought about that, but then the X-Maxx, around the time the X-Maxx came out, and that's why I didn't get it. Okay, let's see. Wow, it's 4:40 a.m. Deadman RC, thank you for even stopping by this early in the morning. Good morning. You blow tires all the time. You need belted tires then. Oh, you can't sleep? Oh, well, at least I'm not boring you. Yes, I saw the new censored motor and ESCs, and I gotta wait and see what's initially gonna transpire with that. I have a lot of RCs, and that being said, I can come across and give you a list off the top of my head. If I can't remember, remind me in a comment. I have all three of these slashes. I have the Traxxas Rally. I have the X-Maxx. I got the E-Max. I got the E-Revo. I got the Summit. I got the X01. I got the Rustler. I got the Gravedigger Stampede. Uh, uh, Gravedigger Stampede 2-wheel drive. I have the mini E-Revo. I have the mini Gravedigger. I have the Latrax Rally. I got the Latrax Teton. I got the Latrax Alias. I got the funny car from Traxxas. I have the Catamaran M41 from Traxxas. I got um, the Axio Yeti 8 scale, Yeti 10 scale, Yeti Junior. I got an SCX 10. I have let me see. Oh man, I'm trying to remember what other cars I got up there. I said the funny car. I said I have the Bandit. The Bandit I have out there. I have the. I think that's it. I think I probably named them all. Maybe you guys can remind me what I forgot about. Traxxas fanboy, can't blame you. You know what? I got into one and started getting them all. It's kind of like a Pokemon thing for me. Okay, inside your Traxxas 4x4. The right, what is the bag called? Okay, the the bag, which is the chassis shroud, go to Dusty Motors. Just type in Google Dusty Motors, and they'll have the exact fit and all different types of colors for it. I swear by them because they have the zipper on top, so you're able to have accessibilities to all your components. Alex, do you think the slash or short course demand will die down? Seems like most RC tracks are buggy racing. The short course will always be around there. Everybody, it all. Oh yes, and the Stampede 4x4. Thank you for that. That's Stampinky over there. Thank you. Um, I also have to say you have a lot of talent for customizing your RCs. They always come out looking really cool. You know, I try to. I try to. X01 or low C Audi will probably be my next car. You know what? I wanted to get the low C Audi, which is a pretty cool vehicle. Um, but it's just something to have something out the box that does 100 miles per hour is pretty cool. And the price point went down on the X01. But I believe Traxxas is going to release an X02. That remains to be seen. It's just, you know, a little bit of RC myth, but we'll see what happens. I have an E-Max, just bought in December, brushed. A lot of people don't like them. What's your opinion? I think the E-Max, for what it is, needs some TLC on there. Um, it's definitely a cool setup. You do have to adjust the shocks a lot on the E-Max, but once you adjust the shocks and everything like that, it's a pretty cool basher, you know, by far. But there's a lot of I did a lot of upgrades on the E-Max. I've never driven that thing stock. I upgraded it immediately. I have an old video where you see me with a brand new E-Max, and then I just dump a couple of $100s worth of RPM parts and steel drive shafts and a whole bunch of stuff. So, wired RC tables, size, wheels, gorilla tape. How do you do a backslash conversion? They do sell an adapter kit to where you're able to mount on the back of the shock tower for the rear, and then once you do buy the body, you're able to install the body to mount onto the sides of the chassis, and that's the way you do a backslash on there. But they do sell, I believe STRC sells a mount to make it a backslash. Do you recommend Emax brushless or eRevo? eRevo. eRevo, I recommend brushless over the Emax. Dusty Motors, really good stuff. Yeah, I like Dusty Motors. I've had them when they started with their company, and I said, look, you know, I told him, I said, look, I'm gonna do a few videos of your stuff, and he was like, where are you located at? I was like, I'm in New York, and he was like, oh yeah, you know, check it out and stuff like that. So you know, I've been pretty cool friends with the guys over there, you know, and by far it's a really well engineered shroud for whatever vehicles that you have, and they have a universal shroud to where you're able to add on to aftermarket RCs. Can't get lights in the front bumper. Nosedives. Okay, look, I've beaten the crap out of my lights, and they're still on there. As you can see up and close, it does get wrecked. And that's an RPM bumper that's on there, and the lights that are on there are supposed to be on a Stampede 4x4, but you're able to mount it on the RPM bumper. Definitely cool upgrade on there, and they still work. And this truck is beaten. You never see. I always say in the RC thing, you should have two types of bodies. You should have your run body and your show body. Your run body you get to beat the crap out of and everything like that. And then your show body is something that you leave on the shelf when you bring your RC home, and then you put that body on there, and it's pretty cool. This body is very old. I mean, look at the decal that I have on this. You know, this is this is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 iron. What's going on? So on this type of body is this is pretty old. You know, SRH Racing. What's going on? So you should always have two types of bodies: the run body and the show body. That's my recommendation always. You know, bodies are expensive, but you know, definitely having one body is pretty cool. How much money have you put into your slash? Well, this is the most expensive one. Chevy Brother Outlaw RC, what's up, my man? Um, who knows, man? Let me see the wheels. Let me see, 60, another 120. Okay, so that's about 20, 300, 300, 360. Another five, I think, another $500 into the slash. I have my Freddy Krueger show body for my slash. Freddy Krueger, who does that? Is that Pig Dog Hydro that does that? I'm not too sure. R Soldier, what up? What up? So, once again, if you guys like this content, give a thumbs up. It does definitely help me with the channel when I do the live streams and stuff like that. So, definitely give me a heads up. I think the next live Pit Dog Hydro, yeah. I think the next live event I'm going to do wrestle. Yeah, I watch wrestling. Would you drill holes and rather than cut out? Okay. Uh, bu- 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 yeah, possible drill holes. And another thing, another upgrade that's going to happen. I do have a brand new body that I'm going to be doing that has no holes. RPM just came out with a mountable bracket for the bodies to where you don't have to make holes. It looks really scale. It kind of installs similar to the way the X-Maxx body comes in, where you just slide it in and just turn it on, to turn it from the back, and then it locks in as opposed to having the pins. But I'll see how it goes in. I have a wrestler with inch G spur and metal pinions. I have metal dust on the transmission. Is that normal? Of course it's normal. It's going to be shaven, but make sure you're meshing up correctly, and make sure it's a mod 1 pinion that you're putting on there, because you shouldn't have that much shavings on there. And the spur should be from a Revo, not an E Revo, but from a Revo. That's where the spur should be coming from. 34 tooth spur, and then if you're going to 1-to-1, you're looking at a 34 tooth pinion, but you shouldn't have that much. Should I fix up my old slash 2-wheel drive or buy a brand new one? It all depends how bad it is. I mean, I would go with slash 4x4. It's 48 pitch. Uh, you shouldn't have that much of shredding on the metal. I mean, the pinion metal that comes from Traxxas is not as a refined steel as you would get from Robinson Racing. So I would upgrade the pinion and see if that helps out. If you're using the spur that's plastic, well, Integy, you're using the Integy spur, I would change out the pinion, because a lot of times it doesn't mesh up correctly. Because I've had issues with not really good pinions from over there for the slash 4x4, and I used to get a lot of that. So once I changed out to a better pinion, better metal, it was definitely better. That one's a 2-wheel drive, which is the gray one. This is 2-wheel drive, high center of gravity, 2-wheel drive, lower center of gravity, and slash 4x4, lower center of gravity. Gotcha. Yeah, it's really hard to convert a 2-wheel drive to a 4-wheel drive. Like it. Yeah, you better off buying a new RC. Is the metal too soft? Possibly. Because here's another thing. A lot of companies, I mean, even like the Integy company, gets a lot of gripe about this, but they make pretty good products. Um, Either they'll take a block and carve it out, or then they'll just take liquid metal and just caster it. So you want to take you want to get metal that's initially a block, and then they cut it out from there, not something that was forged into there. Dun 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 dun. Well, as of right now, we're. Let me see. Which one do I love? Of these three RCs, I would say slash 4x4. Do they run VXL or anything else? VXL, Mamba Monster 2, 2200 kV. How fast? How fast is the 4GT? Yo, cool thing that you brought up the 4GT. The 4GT will be here in my hands, I would say next week. Next week, I will have the Ford GT, and the first things I'm going to go do with it, I am not going to run it. I'm going to do an unboxing video of what's initially in the box. Then I'll do another video of me upgrading everything that I have available for it, which I do have the shock covers, I have the aluminum, I have the stainless steel screw kit, and I also have a brand new VXL system, and I'm throwing in a different type of servo. But that Mamba Monster, yeah, well, but that being said, I do have to run it with the brush system just for you guys to get a real feel on how fast this thing is. And then once that's done, I'm going to immediately upgrade it with the VXL. Do you have more RCs? I went down the list of all the RCs I have right now. I believe my count is 27. Fully upgraded. I mean, realistically speaking, I could have 100 RCs right now with all the upgrades that I have done throughout the years, because the upgrades are the financial killer that, you know, you look at it and you're like, wow, you know, it's really, really expensive, you know. Well, I mean, they have to keep the price point down. That's why they don't do stainless steel. The only RC that I've ever seen Traxxas release with stainless steel is the boats. 100 miles per hour with the slash. I can do it if I want, but I have a Kyosho inside begging for me to do 100 miles with it. So that's going to be something that's going to be coming up very soon. You know what? I'll give you guys a little bit of a treat on this video. Usually I don't do this, but let me take this down. And I'll get my Kyosho, which you guys have never really seen, and where I'm at with the Kyosho. If you guys are wondering what Kyosho it is, it's the Kyosho Inferno. So basically, this RC is virgin. Virgin. Hold on. Give you a heads up of what this thing looks like. Alrighty, so that's my Kyosho Inferno. Now, there are a lot of things I need to do with this RC in the next month or two, because I'm going to be setting this up for races, for speed runs and drag racing. Two different types of setups when you're doing speed runs and racing. Now, I had an extra Mamba Monster system that I threw in there. I have not upgraded the system yet. This will be running on 8S. There's a lot of little bit of intricate installations that I've done since I've received this Kyosho. Now, this, when I tell you new, this thing has never hit asphalt as of right now. So, if I'm going to do speed runs on this, I'm most likely going to set this up for an 8S setup. I've already attached the sway bar kit onto it, front and rear. I've already changed out the internal Gearing for the diff, that's been changed out. Also, I did acquire the mounting bracket to put a bigger pinion on this. That's coming in very soon. I left this little servo over here, which I don't need anything too crazy. This is an old Spectrum servo. I'm just dumping that in there for now. What else? As you can see, I have GRP tires. What servos do I like the most? Savox. I haven't had any issues, Jacob, with any of my Savox. So, but then I'm also going to set this up for a drag kart. Now, as you can see, I do have these are the S3 tires from GRP. I will be changing this out to the Velocity tires very soon. I'm changing out the bumper. Also, I'm most likely going to go with the Delta Plastics body. Now, that being said, it's already been done throughout the years. I've what cars need more maintenance on road, off roads, because you get a whole bunch of dirt in there. Seeing what type, what's putting all my race RCs. So the problem is that I've had this speed runs better for I would say buggy because it extends out a little bit more than a short course vehicle. I've had this in my possession for possibly 2 years now. I think 2 years. 2 years. And I've never done anything with it. Like, realistically speaking, it's just collected dust. I've had people, like I said, brand new. I've had people offer me money for this. One guy ended up, I love to support a lot of things that are out there. One guy in actuality came across and said to me, I don't know, it had a little bit of dust. Yeah, it does have a lot of dust. I had a guy come up to me and had his Kyosho out there and stuff like that, and he came across and said to me, that he'd smoke me and everything like that, on any type of race I had. And I said to him, I said, dude, realistically speaking, I have the finances to not only A, set this up for an 8-cell setup, but B, realistically speaking, I could have came across and contacted a few people that I know at Castle Creations to get me some of the new motors, or I could have went Poseidon or whatever company that I wanted to go to. But like I said, I have a whole bunch of other projects that I do and stuff like that. So usually a lot of people that try to call me out on races and stuff like that. Like I said, I like to support, the hobby and stuff like that. But, sometimes you get the guys that, need some type of recognition on, what he does. So, it's all cool. I smack talk when we go to these events and stuff like that. But, it's, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Somebody wants to buy it. I was interested in selling it, because I have so many RCs and, other things that catch my eye other than having the Kyosho Inferno set up over here, which I haven't even completed. I haven't even completed my mini E-Revo, and that's crazy, Line of work, I'm in the medical field. So, if you guys are wondering, if you guys have been in the video for this long, these are the batteries I was charging. So, you guys were cracking up that you actually were able to hear me charging them up and stuff like that. So, what is my favorite RC? My Rustler Mamba Monster. Do you know why the rear of my /2 wheelers just sags and carries weight? You brought brand new shocks and it still sags. Definitely check out the pin where your arm holds up. Check that out, see if it's nice, and they are. Look, they are getting puffy. I'm surprised you even noticed that. Yeah, they are getting puffy. I gotta contact Traxxas about that because these are the batteries that go into my E-Revo, and as of right now, they could only go into my E-Maxx. So, what was I saying? Oh, so make sure that on the arm, it's nice and loose. Because if it's not, it's just gonna sag like this on your /2 wheel drive. So primarily my recommendation to you is check that, and you're probably going to need harder springs in the rear. Let's see. How can I keep them steering straight at high speeds? Shrinking your steering point ends. So if you're able to shrink that, it doesn't, when you start steering it like this, it doesn't loosen it up and stuff like that. Also, make sure your camber settings are set correctly. Traxxas needs to stop using 20C. The reason why Traxxas uses a 25C rating on their batteries is because a lot of times, the overload on different types of batteries make their Valenian systems explode. So, I've had situations to where it's just too much C rating. I mean, it all depends on what you're doing. If you're bashing around, my personal opinion, the 25C is awesome for you to have. And then get a higher MAH. But if you're doing speed runs, then you're not even dealing with a VXL system. You're dealing with a Mamba Monster system or something like that that's able to handle that type of bursts. So, how many hours a week do you spend wrenching weekly? It all depends. If I have time, I'll just come across and start doing it. So that's my MO. Like right now, I was supposed to go somewhere. So how long do your batteries when they puffed? These things are brand new, bro. These things are maybe a month old. A month, maybe a month and a half old. I don't know why they're puffing. I gotta contact Traxxas to see what the hell's going on with that. Okay, where can I buy harder springs for my shocks? What type of shocks do you have? Is the question. I mean, Traxxas does sell stronger springs, but you can go with a lot of companies like VG Racing has cool harder springs, or you need to upgrade your shocks. Yeah, the big bore shocks, and you have to update. Just see the way the arms are moving. That's my first opinion. What is the hottest X-Maxx motor you can get before down? What is the hottest point? I'm not looking to get my X-Maxx that hot. A and B, it's wintertime right now, so we haven't really seen what the temperature readings are going to be for the X-Maxx come this summer. So I want to see how the truck is able to sustain when it's 85, 90, 95 degrees outside. So we'll see what happens this summer. I think that's another reason why these components are released during the colder seasons. So we'll see what initially transpires during the heat. Because now it's cold. Now it's 30, 40, 50 degrees out. Do you have a local track nearby you? I have a couple of tracks by me. I have Long Island Raceway, and I have my Mini Z racetrack, and I have a track called 360 up in Westchester. Yeah, you should have had your batteries replaced. Try thicker shock oil. Yeah, but even with the thicker shock oil, after a while it would droop. But I'm thinking it's because the way the arm is set up. Maybe the pins that hold that arm are bent. I've had that situation happen to me as well. Those are my thoughts on HPI. Haven't owned one. Is the Castle 1415 motor good for speed runs? Nah, I'm not too sure, man. I'll be honest with you. I don't want to give you misinformation. When is the next Mini Z video coming out? I just got my first one. The AMA races are going to be happening in 2 weeks, I believe. I'll give it an announcement, and it'll be a nighttime run. You're going to see people racing for trophies and stuff like that, so that's going to be pretty cool. But that being said, I'm going to most likely end this episode right now. Hopefully, I was able to give you a lot of information on the Traxxas slashes, which was the slash high center of gravity one, the slash two-wheel drive lower center of gravity one, and the slash 4x4 lower center of gravity one. So that being said, hopefully you were able to get a lot of information available for the Traxxas slashes. I think the next live video I'm going to be doing will be discussing the Axial products that I have, which is all the Yetis and the SCX10 and stuff like that. I'll have that all lined up on this table and stuff. I'm still finishing up my RC studio, which is taking a little bit of time because I have to mount TVs and everything like that in there, but that's going to be happening very soon. If you like the content of these videos, do me a favor. When I do live streams, just hit your notification button so you're able to get this immediately when it pops onto your screen. Also, if you enjoy the content of all that I'm doing right here, give me a thumbs up. That does help out my channel as well. I really appreciate that. Leave a comment once this video is over with and uploaded. Leave a comment below. It will definitely be cool to get a little bit of feedback on what you would like to see on the up and coming videos, which hopefully I'll be able to utilize that and, you know, show you a few things that happen out there. So like I said, hopefully this video was informative to you. Rate, comment, subscribe, and to all my fellas up in YouTube. Later.